Anand purchased 3 items, each costing rupees 2500. He sold one item at a 10% loss. At what percent should the other two items be sold to earn 20% profit on the whole deal? So let's say this is the cost price for all the 3 items. So this is CP1, CP2 and CP3, which is equal to 2500. Now one of these items has already been sold at a 10% loss. Now loss means that we bought for more and sold for less. So the selling price is somewhere here. So this is SP1 and this loss is 10% of CP1. Now the idea originally for Anand was to earn a 20% profit on the whole deal. So what that meant is the first item would be sold at 20% profit. The second item would be sold at again 20% profit. And the third item would also be sold at 20% of CP3. So this would be SP2 and this would be SP3. However, since the first item has now been sold at a loss of 10%, we not only have to cover the loss for the first item, but we have to make up for the profit of 20% for this item and add that into the profit for the second and the third item. So the amount from this point to this point needs to be added to both the profit such that the overall profit then comes out to be 20%. So here we have been given the overall cost price. So overall cost price is equal to 2500 multiplied by 3, because there are 3 items and each item costs 2500 rupees. So this is equal to 7500 rupees. Now we want to have a profit of 20% on the whole deal. So that means overall profit desired is equal to 20% of 7500. This is because profit or loss is expressed in terms of the cost price. So this is equal to 0.2 multiplied by 7500, and this is equal to 1500 rupees. Now profit is equal to selling price minus cost price. So profit we already know is 1500, what we desire, and we don't know the overall selling price. So let's say SP minus 7500. So selling price is equal to 9000 rupees. So when we sell all the 3 items, we should get an overall 9000 rupees. Now one of the items we have already sold at a 10% loss. So let's find out what was the selling price for this one item. So 10% of the cost price, which is 2500, this is equal to 0.1 multiplied by 2500, and this is equal to 250 rupees. So loss was 250 rupees. So the selling price for the first item will be equal to the cost price minus the loss amount. So 2500 minus 250, and this is equal to 2250 rupees. So we know the selling price for the first item and we know the overall selling price that we want to achieve. So the selling price for the second and the third item would be the overall selling price minus SP1. So selling price for 2 and 3 is equal to 9,000 minus 2250. So 0, 5, 7, 6. So the total selling price for item 2 and 3 should be equal to 6750 rupees. So if we divide this by 2, selling price is equal to 6750 divided by 2, which is equal to 3375. So selling price for 2 and selling price for 3 should be equal to 3375 rupees. Now the cost price for 2 and 3 is 2500 and the selling price is 3375, and we are being asked to find at what percent should the other two items be sold to earn 20% profit on the whole deal. So we know the selling price in terms of rupees. Now let's convert the profit in terms of percentage and express that. So the profit will be 3375 minus 2500, which is the cost price. So this is 5, 7 and 33 minus 25 is 8. So 875 rupees is the profit on 2 and 875 is also the profit on item 3. Now the profit percentage is 875 divided by the cost price, which is 2500 multiplied by 100, and this is equal to 35%. So basically the second and the third item should be sold at a profit of 35% to obtain an overall profit of 20% on the whole deal.